Here's what we're working on for Monday night at 11 o'clock. They're not getting older, they're getting bigger, buffer, and better. If you think bodybuilding is just for young studs, guess again. We found out more and more post-50-somethings in South Florida are pumping iron and strutting their stuff at bodybuilding competitions. Yes, they are ripped, toned, and turning back time. Watch our special report coming up later tonight at 11 o'clock right here on CBS 4. Coming up when we turn to sports, more of Richie Incognito's first sit-down interview since the Dolphins drama began. This week's NFL action saw everything from a wild Hail Mary to the team getting their first win of 2013. CBS 4's Jim Barry has that coming up. Welcome back. You're looking at Fort Lauderdale early this Monday morning on Veterans Day. Doesn't appear to be any lightning or rain in the skies, but we're going to answer that question with the guy who's going to know and say welcome to our weather team, John Giraldi.
Hey, Brian, nice to meet you.
I've watched you for years. It's great to have you here as our team of
Likewise.
pros. Tonight, one of the women who sent police on a wild chase Thursday remains locked up in the Miami-Dade County Jail. Officials say 25-year-old Natalie Petit was behind the wheel of that Audi, the chase that started at a Wells Fargo in Opa-locka, where Petit and 27-year-old Lakeisha Jean tried to cash a stolen check with someone else's ID. When police arrived, Petit tried hitting the officer's car and then took off. The chase ending nearly 20 minutes later in the city of Miami. Petit faces fraud charges and several other charges relating to the high-speed pursuit. Good news tonight for the town of Bal Harbour. A boil water order has been lifted for the upscale beachfront community. The order went into effect on Thursday when a water main broke on Collins Avenue. Testing done over the weekend shows the water in the city is free of contaminants, so it's once again safe to drink without putting on the stove. 2 high school students in Texas were killed when gunfire broke out at a birthday party this weekend. More than 100 people inside a home outside of Houston celebrating an 18-year-old girl's birthday. 19 people were injured, many of them suffering gunshot wounds. Police described it as a birthday party gone wild because it had been advertised on social media. There is still a search for 2 gunmen. Next on CBS 4 News tonight, a night of remembrance. After the break, Holocaust survivors mark 75 years since the night of broken glass. The emotional tribute, as reported by our very own Maggie Newland, coming up. Plus, caught on camera, see what a satellite image shows from space about that typhoon that killed thousands in the Philippines. And back here at home, the Olympic torch back on Earth tonight. Hear all about where it's headed after a tour through space when the news continues.
I never meant it that way.
Sports anchor Jim Barry is here. Jim, I think what rings in my head from watching this is all this came from a place of love. I don't know if I buy that, because if I were to sit with you in the middle of the newsroom and I were to drop a couple of bomb words that weren't appropriate, I don't think anybody here in our organization would say that came from a place of love. That came from a place of stupidity. The Olympic torch back on Earth tonight after a trip to the International Space Station. 2 Russian cosmonauts took the torch on a spacewalk at the ISS. The torch is on a 123-day journey across Russia. That journey ends at the Black Sea resort of Sochi, the host venue of the 2014 Winter Games. It was a somber night on Miami Beach, where Holocaust survivors were joined by members of the community to mark 75 years of the night of broken glass. 75 years ago this weekend that the Holocaust began. CBS 4's Maggie Newland was on Miami Beach for this evening's tribute. CBS 4 News salutes our veterans. Still to come, the special journey for World War II veterans this Veterans Day weekend. Also, baby panda cubs get an important life lesson. That story is the late night edition of CBS 4 News rolls on. This will make you feel warm and cuddly before you go to bed tonight. Newborn pandas in China spending their weekend learning a new trade, how to climb trees. Their lesson started Saturday in the play area of the giant panda breeding research base there. Researchers at the base say it normally takes a few months before these giant pandas learn how to make their way all the way up. It was a special trip for some Southwest Florida World War II veterans as they got on a plane to the nation's capital this Veterans Day weekend. 50 veterans traveling to D.C., where they visited the war memorials built in honor of their service. This is all part of Collier County's inaugural honor flight. The veterans say they're grateful to have been able to make the trip and be part of Collier County's first honor flight. Take a look at some satellite images we have for you. This was what Typhoon Haiyan looked like from space as it neared Vietnam. The powerful typhoon may have killed up to 10,000 people in the Philippines, and the news has the attention of some pretty big Hollywood stars.
It's a terrible disaster, of course.
That was George Clooney talking about the disaster at the BAFTA LA Britannia Awards in Beverly Hills. Clooney was there to receive the Stanley Kubrick Britannia Award for Excellence in Film. And now, excellence in meteorology. Watch the pros. We welcome John Giraldi to our team. John, your lovely wife is up watching tonight.
Absolutely.
And on Twitter, I've got a mention from Diana Montoya. She is watching you tonight as well, so welcome to our team.
Beautiful. By the way, my wife is up watching you, not me.
You're the star, John. Give me the weather. That'll do it for CBS 4 News tonight. Remember, we are always on CBSMiami.com. The news continues at 5 o'clock in the morning. And remember, it is Veterans Day, so everyone in the control room would like to give a positive salute with our right hand, because that's how you salute to our veterans, and a wave. Good night, everybody. Have a great night. Get some rest.